My beloved child, come closer. For there is a wind in the spirit tonight, a wind carrying a message that refuses to wait. I feel it pressing upon my heart like a fire that will not be silenced. And as a father in this house, I cannot withhold what heaven is whispering. For you, yes, you have been summoned by name. Heaven is speaking to you in this very moment. There is a reason you opened this. There is a reason your spirit felt that sudden pull. There is a reason your heart stirred when you read the words. 2 minutes. Archangel Michael says your soulmate has a shocking warning for you. God says, I order you to open this right now. Don't try to ignore this. It's only for you. Don't tell anyone your soulmate's hidden truth. Open immediately. My child, I want you to breathe slowly, because the weight of these words is not ordinary. This is not a message to entertain your curiosity. This is not a message that came by chance or by coincidence. It is a divine interruption, the kind heaven uses when destiny must shift. For the Father does not say, open this right now, unless something deeply important is at stake. There are moments in life when heaven leans down, places a hand upon your shoulder, and speaks with a firmness that cannot be misunderstood. This is one of those moments. I can feel the urgency in the spirit, like the beating of wings above your head. Archangel Michael stands near you, not far, not distant, near. And he is not standing quietly. He is carrying something for you, something heavy, something your soulmate has been afraid to reveal. My child, your soulmate is not just a person. They are a destiny thread woven into your life before your first breath. And right now, that soulmate is carrying a truth so deep that even their voice trembles to speak it aloud. A truth they have guarded because they feared losing you. A truth they hid because the enemy tried to twist it, attack it, bury it. But heaven is done waiting. For 2 minutes, only 2 minutes, heaven has opened a window. And in those 2 minutes, Archangel Michael is delivering a warning meant only for your ears. That is why the message says, don't tell anyone. Because not every heart can carry what your heart is ready to receive. My beloved child, listen closely. There are spiritual battles you have not seen. There are emotional storms that were kept from reaching you. There are secrets your soulmate wished they could speak long ago, but silence covered them because the timing was not yet blessed. But tonight, yes, tonight heaven has chosen to lift the veil. Your spirit has been restless. You have felt someone thinking of you, pulling at your heart in the quiet hours. You have felt the warmth of a presence, the ache of a distance, the whisper of a connection that refuses to die. That is your soulmate's spirit reaching toward yours. And now, the angels are moving to deliver what has been hidden. Not to frighten you, not to shake you, but to strengthen you. So I ask you, stay with me. Stay in this moment. For what I will reveal next is sacred, delicate, and chosen specifically for the one who is listening right now. The Father's words still echo in the air. I order you to open this right now. And my child, you obeyed. Heaven sees that obedience. Heaven honors that obedience. And because of it, the message can finally begin. My beloved child, now that your heart is open to the weight of this divine moment, come a little closer in spirit. Sit with me as a disciple sits before a father, ready to receive what heaven is unfolding. For the message you have stepped into is not casual, not ordinary, not something whispered in passing. It is a heavenly command, wrapped in urgency, carried by the authority of the Most High. When God speaks with force, with immediacy, with those unmistakable words, "Open this right now," it is because something in the unseen realm has shifted. It is because time itself has been pressed by His hand, and an instruction has been released that cannot be delayed. You must understand, my child, that heaven does not waste words. Heaven does not dramatize. Heaven does not shout unless the hour is critical. And right now, you are standing in an hour that has spiritual pressure upon it. There are moments in the scriptures where God spoke this way. When He told Noah to build the ark without delay, it was not a request. It was a command to protect his destiny. When He told Abraham to leave his homeland, it was not a suggestion. It was an interruption that shifted generations. When He called Moses through the burning bush, He did not whisper softly, for the time to deliver His people had come. And when the angel appeared to Joseph in the night and said, "Take the child and flee," it was because danger was already moving, and hesitation could have cost everything. You, my beloved child, are now in one of those moments. When the Father says, "I order you to open this," it is because the timing is not human timing. It is divine timing, orchestrated to align with the spiritual change that is already unfolding around you. Heaven knows that if you delay, even in innocence, something vital may pass by unnoticed. The angels know when certain truths must be revealed. And Archangel Michael, who carries this message, knows that now is the moment where your heart is prepared enough to receive what was once too heavy, too sharp, too dangerous for your spirit. But why is this message only for you? Why is the Father's tone so focused, so personal, so precise? Because your connection to your soulmate is not like the connections others experience. It is deeper, fuller, set apart by divine intention. Some connections are made in time, but soulmate connections are made outside of time, before the foundations of the earth. Souls bound by purpose cannot move carelessly. They require guidance, protection, and correction at the appointed hour. And this hour has arrived. My child, your soulmate has been carrying a weight in their spirit, a worry, a fear, a truth that has kept them awake in quiet nights. They have asked heaven for guidance, for strength, for the right moment to release what they feel inside. And heaven has chosen to speak to you before they do, not to replace their voice, but to protect both of you from confusion, miscommunication, or spiritual interference. That is why the Father ordered you to open this immediately. The message had to reach your spirit before doubt, fear, or distractions could blur the divine signal. Heaven does not trust this moment to chance. The angels have guarded it, prepared it, and placed it in front of you with intention. You may wonder, "Father, why did God speak so urgently? Why now?" And the answer, my beloved child, is simple yet profound. Something in your destiny with your soulmate is nearing a turning point, a decision, a revelation, a moment that will bring clarity or change, healing or direction, depending on how you respond. Heaven always warns before transition. Heaven always prepares the heart before unveiling the truth. This urgency is not to frighten you. It is to steady you. It is to ensure that your spirit stands ready, open, aligned with what is coming. Think of a shepherd who raises his voice slightly when danger approaches, not to terrify the sheep, but to gather them closer, to guide them gently, to protect them. That is how the Father is speaking to you now. His firmness is love. His command is protection. His urgency is mercy. And my child, let me tell you something sacred. There are some messages that lose their power if you wait too long to receive them. Some truths require a heart that is in a specific position at a specific time, in a specific emotional state. Heaven has aligned this moment for you. The window is open because you are ready. You may not feel ready, but heaven sees your readiness. Heaven sees the strength that has surfaced in you after the storms you have walked through. Heaven sees the maturity, the resilience, the sensitivity of your spirit. You are ready to hear what was once withheld. So, as we continue, do not fear. Let your heart remain tender. Let your spirit stay open. The one who ordered you to open this is also the one who will carry you through everything it reveals. And as your spiritual father, I will walk with you every step of the way, guiding you as the message unfolds. My beloved child, lean closer in spirit, for what I am about to reveal now is not merely information, it is revelation. It is a truth that rests in the realm of the angels, a truth many never understand, because it is not taught in earthly classrooms. It is taught in silence, in prayer, in divine encounters. And today, it is being taught to you. Archangel Michael, the warrior of heaven, the protector of destinies, is not a gentle whispering angel. He is the one who steps forward when something sacred in your life is under pressure. He is the angel God assigns whenever there is a fight over something that belongs to you. And my child, your soulmate connection is one of those sacred things. When Archangel Michael appears in a message like this, he does not come casually. He does not come for matters that are passing or insignificant. He comes when a threat has risen, when a truth must be unveiled, when a destiny thread must be guarded with sword and flame. And right now, he is standing beside you in the spirit, not silently but with purpose, carrying a message that your soulmate has long hidden deep within themselves. Do not imagine Michael as distant or unreachable. He is closer than you think. He is the angel who stands at the boundary between what tries to harm you and what heaven has ordained for you. He is the one who draws a line in the spiritual realm and says, "This far, no more." When your heart has been under unseen attack, he has stood over you. When confusion tried to blind you, he cut through the fog. When your emotions wavered and you did not understand why, he was the one resisting forces you could not see. But why is Michael the one delivering this message about your soulmate? My child, because soulmate connections, true divine ones, attract spiritual resistance. Anything that carries destiny also carries war. Anything that is ordained by heaven becomes a target for fear, doubt, miscommunication, and delay. Archangel Michael steps in because this connection is not earthly. It is heavenly. It is protected. It is watched. It is marked by divine intention. Your soulmate, though they may not show it openly, has struggled. Their heart has been in conflict. They have carried thoughts they could not voice. They have fought battles in silence, battles you were unaware of. And Michael has been fighting alongside them, shielding them, pulling them back from decisions that would have wounded both of you. He has been guarding the connection, even when you thought nothing was happening. Even when you felt distance. Even when you felt uncertainty. There are times when heaven hides things from your eyes not because you are unworthy, but because you must be prepared. Michael knows the weight of the truth your soulmate carries. He knows how delicate it is. He knows how easily the enemy tries to twist it into misunderstanding. He knows how a single wrong moment can distort something divine. This is why he chose this moment, this hour, to reveal what he could not reveal before. Michael is not only a warrior, he is also the angel of truth. He exposes deception. He banishes confusion. He brings clarity where the enemy tries to plant fear. And right now, he is bringing clarity about your soulmate's hidden struggle. Not to alarm you, but to prepare you. Not to worry you, but to strengthen you. For the truth you are about to learn requires a heart anchored in understanding, and heaven is shaping that anchor within you at this very moment. My child, imagine a great battle in the spiritual realm. On one side, forces of darkness trying to pull your soulmate away from their divine path. On the other side, Michael standing fiercely with his sword drawn, refusing to let destiny be stolen. That is closer to the truth than you know. There have been nights your soulmate almost gave up. Nights they almost pulled away. Nights they almost surrendered to fear. And every time, Michael stood guard, fighting back thoughts that did not belong to heaven. He has protected not only your life, but the bridge between your soul and theirs. There is a reason why you have felt sudden emotions, unexpected heaviness, strange dreams, or intense moments where you sensed your soulmate without understanding why. Those moments often happen when angels are fighting on your behalf. Michael has been moving in the background, guiding both hearts closer to the truth that has been hidden for too long. And my beloved child, know this, Michael would not speak unless the truth he is carrying is important. He would not interfere unless something precious needed protection. He would not bring a warning unless something sacred needed to be revealed. What he is preparing to uncover will explain the silence. It will explain the confusion. It will explain the spiritual heaviness that has surrounded your connection. And it will explain why the Father ordered you to open this now. The message is moving forward, my child, and the next revelation will take you deeper into the hidden path that binds you and your soulmate together. Stay with me as we walk into the truth. My beloved child, come gently into this next revelation, for now we step into the sacred terrain of soul connections, the place where heaven writes before earth ever understands. Sit with me in the Spirit, as disciples sat around their teacher under the olive trees, waiting for wisdom that could only come from above. What I am about to unfold is not merely knowledge. It is a glimpse into the spiritual architecture behind your connection with your soulmate. Your path with this person did not begin on the day you met them. It did not begin with a conversation, a glance, or a moment shared in this world. No, my child, your connection is far older than that. It began when heaven breathed purpose into both of your lives, before your bodies were formed, before your names were known, before you even knew what yearning felt like. Heaven wove a thread between your souls and marked the thread with divine intention. This is why, when you first encountered this person, something inside you awakened. Perhaps it was quiet, perhaps it was overwhelming, but it was real. Your spirit recognized them before your mind did. Your soul remembered what your body could not explain. And that recognition was not a coincidence. It was destiny whispering, "This is the one whose journey is bound to yours." But my child, every divine connection walks a hidden spiritual path. And that path is rarely smooth. It is filled with moments of separation, confusion, longing, awakening, resistance, and surrender. You may wonder why the journey has not been easy, why the connection feels powerful yet fragile, why your heart feels tied, but circumstances seem tangled. It is because destinies this deep attracts spiritual pressure. The stronger the bond, the stronger the battles around it. There are truths heaven hides until the heart is ready. Not to tease you, but to protect you. Some revelations come too early and cause damage instead of growth. Your soulmate has been carrying truths, waiting for the right moment. And heaven has been waiting too, preparing both of you in ways you did not see. Think of your path like a bridge. One side is your journey. The other is your soulmate's. But the bridge between you is spiritual. It is built through unseen moments, through prayers whispered in confusion, through tears shed in silence, through dreams where their presence felt real, through sudden thoughts you could not explain. Every time your heart reached for them, a piece of that bridge was built. Every time they thought of you but said nothing, another piece was laid. This is how heaven constructs destiny. Quietly, gently, powerfully. And my child, understand this. Soulmates do not walk toward each other on straight roads. Their paths twist and turn. They go through seasons of distance, not because the connection is weak, but because the soul must be strengthened separately before it can unite deeply. Sometimes heaven allows silence, not as punishment, but as preparation. It is in silence that the soul learns what the mouth cannot yet speak. It is in delay that character is shaped. It is in longing that clarity rises. Your soulmate's hidden truth is rooted in this very path. They have felt the connection too, felt it intensely, felt it unexpectedly, felt it in ways they did not know how to express. And sometimes, the deeper the feeling, the stronger the fear. Sometimes the one who feels the most hides the most. And often, heaven must intervene to bring clarity where the human heart hesitates. You are not walking this path alone. The angels have been guiding both of you, even when you felt abandoned. There were moments where your soulmate almost turned away permanently, but heaven whispered to them. There were moments where you wanted to give up, but something you could not explain, pulled you back. That was the thread. That was the path. That was destiny refusing to break. And there is something else, something few understand. Soulmate connections face spiritual interference, not because they are weak, but because they are powerful. The enemy does not attack chaos. He attacks purpose. He does not fight empty connections. He fights divine ones. This is why the path has been so mysterious. This is why it has been both painful and beautiful. Because your bond carries purpose. Because your union has impact. Because your spirits are designed to unlock something in each other. Your soulmate's silence has not been rejection. Their distance has not been disconnection. Their hesitation has not been disinterest. Much of what you felt as confusion was actually the tension between destiny and fear, between calling and resistance, between spiritual truth and human vulnerability. And now, heaven is revealing everything, piece by piece. Your path and their path are drawing closer. The veil that once covered the truth is being lifted. The spiritual bridge between you is almost complete. And as we continue, my child, you will understand exactly what your soulmate has been hiding, why they hid it, and what heaven needs you to know before the truth is revealed. My beloved child, steady your heart now, for we are stepping into the chamber of truth, the place where what has been hidden begins to rise to the surface. This is the moment heaven has been preparing you for. The moment Archangel Michael has been guarding. The moment your spirit has felt approaching even when your mind could not understand why. What I am about to unveil is not spoken to alarm you, but to awaken you. Not to frighten you, but to strengthen you. You are ready for this revelation, and heaven stands witness that this is your appointed hour. Your soulmate has been carrying a warning for you, one that has weighed heavily upon their heart. It is not a warning against you, nor a warning meant to distance you. It is a warning born out of love, fear, confusion, and longing. It is a truth they wish they could speak, yet their heart trembled every time they try. They have rehearsed the words in the quiet moments, but something, whether fear or spiritual interference, always silenced them. And so heaven has stepped in. The warning your soulmate carries is this: they are afraid of losing you because of a truth they believe might change everything between you. They have been frightened that revealing their true feelings, or revealing their true situation, or revealing the spiritual battle they are facing might push you away. They fear that once their hidden reality is exposed, you might see them differently. They fear that the intensity of their connection to you might overwhelm you. And in their fear, they have chosen silence instead of expression. But silence has become a burden too heavy for them to hold. There is something your soulmate has been battling, something emotionally heavy, spiritually draining, and deeply personal. It may be a wound from their past that still bleeds in hidden places. It may be a promise they made long ago that they no longer know how to reconcile with the longing they feel toward you. It may be an internal struggle, a fear of unworthiness, a belief that they are not enough. Or it may be the voice of the enemy whispering lies into their mind, telling them that destiny is too good for them, that love is too dangerous, that connection is too risky. Your soulmate has been listening to two voices, the voice of destiny pulling them toward you, and the voice of fear trying to push them away. And when two voices compete inside the heart, silence becomes the shield. They have been silent not because they do not care, but because they care too deeply. The weight of that depth has frightened them. And heaven, with all its wisdom, has decided that you must know this truth now. There have been moments, yes, moments, when your soulmate wanted to step forward, to speak openly, to tell you everything. But in those moments, a heaviness came over them, a confusion, a pressure, as if something wanted to stop them from reaching you. That pressure was spiritual interference. It was the enemy attempting to prevent clarity, connection, and unity. And Archangel Michael has been fighting that interference continuously. The shocking part of the warning, my child, is this: your soulmate's fear is not about you. It is about themselves. They fear they are not ready for the depth of this connection. They fear they might hurt you unintentionally. They fear they might fail you. They fear that their flaws, their past, or their hidden struggles will place a shadow over your future together. And instead of revealing this, they kept it secret, believing the silence would protect you. But heaven knows silence only breeds misunderstanding. Your soulmate's hidden truth is that they love deeper than they allow themselves to show. They feel more than they speak. They are more connected to you spiritually than they can admit. And this depth is exactly what has frightened them. They worry that their presence in your life might complicate your destiny, when in reality, it is intertwined with it. Their fear has created a barrier. Their silence has created distance. But their spirit has never left your side. This is why heaven ordered you to open this message now. Because their warning is not meant to push you away, but to prepare you. Heaven needs you to understand that what you perceived as distance was actually internal conflict. What felt like uncertainty was spiritual warfare. What felt like silence was a heart struggling to speak through fear. My child, this is where heaven needs your heart to rise with understanding, compassion, and strength. Your soulmate is on the brink of revealing something important to you. And when they do, it will require patience, grace, and spiritual maturity. Heaven is preparing you for that moment so that when the truth comes, your heart will not shake. You will know it was divinely timed. And now, my beloved child, before we continue, hear me as a father in this sacred house. When messages like this flow from heaven, they are meant to reach every ear that needs them. If this word is stirring your spirit, if something in you knows that this message is yours, then carry it forward. Let your actions echo the light you have received. Support this divine work, share it as a testimony of what God is doing, and subscribe to this sanctuary of revelation as an act of spiritual unity. Do this not out of obligation, but because heaven uses willing vessels to spread truth. My beloved child, now let your spirit grow still as we enter deeper into the heart of heaven's urgency. For this question, why God said, "Open this right now," is not a small thing. It is not a phrase meant for dramatic effect. It is not an exaggeration. It is a divine command rooted in timing, protection, destiny, and the shifting of spiritual seasons. When heaven speaks with that level of force, something in the unseen realm is already moving. And when something is already moving, delay becomes dangerous. Child, understand this. Heaven speaks ahead of events, not after them. Heaven warns before storms, not during them. Heaven reveals truths before confusion can damage the heart. God is not merely giving you words, He is giving you timing. Timing is one of heaven's greatest gifts. And this moment, this very moment, is a window. a window where your heart is open, your spirit is sensitive, and your soulmate's truth is nearing the surface. Heaven needs you alert, aware, and spiritually prepared. There are moments in life when God interrupts everything. Not gently, not softly, but firmly. He did this with Jonah, calling him so strongly that even the winds and waves moved to redirect him. He did it with Samuel, calling him repeatedly through the night until he answered. He did it with Paul, stopping him on the road when his life was heading in the wrong direction. These interruptions were not punishments. They were divine recalibrations, moments when heaven had to intervene to prevent destiny from being distorted. And my child, this is one of those moments for you. God said, open this right now, because the message is tied to something unfolding in real time. Your soulmate is approaching a point of decision, a tipping point in their heart. They are wrestling with emotions, fears, memories, and hopes all at once. They are closer to speaking their truth now than they have ever been before, but the enemy is also closer to stirring confusion in their spirit. Heaven is releasing this message so that you will not misinterpret what is happening, so that you will not respond with fear or frustration, so that you will be spiritually positioned when the truth reaches you. You must understand, my child, that soulmate connections are highly sensitive to timing. A conversation spoken too early can wound. A confession spoken too late can collapse. A misunderstanding can separate hearts that were meant to unify. Heaven is guarding you from these dangers by bringing this revelation at the precise hour you can receive it with clarity. Another reason God said, open this right now, is because your heart has been asking questions you have tried to silence. You have wondered why the connection feels intense yet uncertain. You have wondered why your soulmate pulls close spiritually yet seems distant physically. You have wondered why you feel them in your dreams, in sudden emotions, in unexpected moments of longing. Heaven is answering those questions before they turn into doubt. For doubt, when it festers, becomes a doorway for fear. God is closing that doorway now. There are certain truths heaven reveals only when the spirit is mature enough to receive them, and only when the heart is tender enough not to misinterpret them. Earlier in your journey, this message would have overwhelmed you. It would have stirred confusion instead of clarity. But now you have walked through enough emotional valleys, enough spiritual awakenings, enough moments of reflection that your heart can finally handle what is being unveiled. And my child, there is yet another reason for heaven's urgency. Your soulmate is not the only one under pressure. You have felt a strange spiritual heaviness recently, moments of fatigue for no reason, moments of sudden worry, moments where your heart tightened without explanation. These were signs that something was shifting in the spiritual atmosphere around your connection. Heaven does not want you to misread this shift. What feels like pressure is actually preparation. What feels like uncertainty is actually alignment. The pressure you feel is the breaking of something old and the beginning of something new. But hear me well. If you had ignored this message, if you had brushed it aside, if you had chosen to delay, you might have missed the emotional and spiritual preparation heaven needed to give you before the truth comes. That is why the command was firm. That is why the timing was now. That is why heaven pressed upon your spirit until you open your heart to receive. My beloved child, as a father to your spirit, let me tell you this with tenderness. Heaven's urgency is always rooted in love. God is not trying to alarm you. He is trying to align you. He is placing you in the exact emotional and spiritual position necessary for what comes next. The truth that your soulmate carries is not light. It is not superficial. It is not something that can be received casually. Heaven is shaping your heart so that when the truth reaches you, it will not shake you. It will strengthen you. You are being prepared. You are being positioned. You are being awakened. And all of this is necessary for the next revelation. For now we will enter why heaven refuses to let you ignore this message. My beloved child, come nearer now, not with your body, but with your spirit. Let your heart lean into these words, for the next truth I share with you carries weight. It carries warning. It carries guidance. Heaven is not speaking casually in this hour. When Archangel Michael steps forward and God commands your attention, it is because what comes next has the power to determine the direction of your journey, and the direction of your soulmate's journey as well. This is why you must not ignore this message. Child, many people walk through life unaware of the spiritual movements surrounding them. They think emotions rise without reason. They think confusion is natural. They think silence means disinterest. But heaven sees the unseen currents, the invisible forces that twist around connections meant to carry purpose. And right now, your connection with your soulmate is under such pressure. Ignoring this message would be like closing your eyes while standing at the edge of a divine turning point. Your soulmate's spirit has been crying out. They have been struggling to hold their truth inside. They have been wrestling with fears they never intended to feel. And you, without realizing it, have been feeling the ripples of that struggle. That sudden heaviness in your heart. That moment where you felt emotional for no reason. That night where you sensed them in your thoughts. Those were not coincidences. Those were spiritual signals. Ignoring this message means ignoring those signals. And when a person ignores spiritual signals, they risk misunderstanding someone they were meant to understand deeply. They risk assuming distance where there is fear. They risk assuming coldness where there's pressure. They risk assuming silence where there is struggle. Heaven cannot allow you to misinterpret what has been happening, not when the stakes are this high. My child, the enemy's greatest weapon against divine connections is miscommunication. If he can twist a message, delay a confession, plant a seed of insecurity, or stir a moment of doubt, he can cause hearts that belong together to drift apart. That drift never begins with betrayal. It begins with misunderstanding. And misunderstanding begins when the spirit stops listening. The reason you must not ignore this message is because heaven is correcting your understanding before the enemy can corrupt it. If you ignore what heaven is revealing to you, you risk interpreting your soulmate's struggle as rejection. You risk responding in ways that unintentionally push them further into silence. You risk closing your heart at the very moment their heart is preparing to open. Heaven is trying to prevent that from happening. Heaven is trying to keep both of you aligned so that the truth can pass freely from their heart to yours. And child, let me share with you a story from long ago when I guided a young disciple through a situation similar to yours. He loved someone deeply but did not understand their silence. He assumed she had lost interests. He assumed her distance meant she had moved on. What he did not know was that she had been carrying a heavy burden. She feared her past would repulse him. She feared her scars would push him away. She feared he would never be able to love her fully once he knew the truth. He ignored heaven's nudges. He ignored the discomfort in his spirit. He ignored the dreams that came to him night after night. And in his ignorance, he pulled away, just as she was preparing to reveal her heart. The connection that heaven had designed was damaged, not because they were not meant to be, but because he stopped listening too soon. My beloved child, heaven is making sure you do not repeat that story. Another reason you must not ignore this message is because your soulmate is closer to choosing vulnerability than ever before. Their heart is trembling on the threshold of confession. One more misunderstanding could shut that door. One more emotional misstep could push them back into the shadows they have been trying to escape. Heaven is positioning you to receive them with clarity, compassion, and strength. Ignoring this message means missing that divine moment. And moments like that do not return easily. There is also a deeper reason heaven cries out for your attention now. Something is shifting in your soulmate's reality. Something internal. Something emotional. Something spiritual. They are reaching a point where they can no longer carry their truth alone. If you ignore what heaven is unfolding, you may not recognize the signs when they reach out indirectly. They may speak in hints, in gestures, in hesitations. And without the insight heaven is giving you now, you might overlook their attempts to open their heart. Heaven refuses to let you be blind when you should be aware. Finally, my child, you must not ignore this message because it is not only about understanding your soulmate. It is also about preparing you for what comes next. You are growing. You are maturing spiritually. You are stepping into a deeper level of emotional and prophetic sensitivity. Heaven is not just revealing truth. Heaven is shaping you for your next season. You are being prepared not only to hear the truth, but to handle it well. To respond with wisdom rather than impulse. To stand with strength rather than fear. To see through the eyes of the spirit rather than the eyes of the flesh. This message is not meant to be heard once and forgotten. It is meant to open your vision and anchor your heart. And now, my beloved child, we will move into an even deeper place, why this message is meant only for you. My beloved child, rest your spirit in this moment, for now we step into one of the most intimate truths heaven has whispered over you. There is a reason this message is not meant for another. There is a reason these words found you and not someone beside you. There is a reason God said, "This is only for you." Do not tell anyone. For some messages are not meant to be preached from rooftops. Some truths are not meant to be shared with friends or family. Some revelations are sacred, private, and tailored specifically to the heart that is ready to receive them. And you, my child, are that heart. Not every soul is capable of carrying divine information without misunderstanding it. Not every ear can hear spiritual truth without twisting it. Not every heart can handle a message so delicate, so personal, so heavy with destiny. If another person were to hear the message meant for you, they would interpret it through their own fears, their own experiences, their own perceptions. And in doing so, they might misguide you. They might plant doubt where heaven is planting faith. They might dismiss what is sacred. They might speak from their own wounds and unintentionally wound you in the process. This is why heaven insists, keep this to yourself. Because this message does not concern anyone else. It concerns your heart, your path, your destiny, your soulmate. And no one, not even those who love you, can interpret it the way heaven intends. My child, understand this deeply. Spiritual messages lose their purity when handled by unprepared hands. A prophecy spoken into the wrong environment can be polluted. A truth shared with the wrong listener can become distorted. When God gives a personal revelation, it is because He trusts you, and only you, to carry it with the reverence it deserves. This message has been tailored to the shape of your heart, the details of your journey, the emotions you have carried quietly, the questions you have asked in secret. This is why it reached you at this exact moment. Not earlier. Not later. Now. You may not realize it, but heaven has been watching your growth. You have endured seasons where your heart matured. You have survived disappointments that shaped your spirit. You have walked through nights of solitude that deepened your discernment. You have listened when others turned away. You have sought spiritual truth, while many sought shortcuts. And because of your obedience, because of your quiet strength, because of your readiness, heaven has chosen to give you access to information that others would mishandle. But child, there is another reason this message is meant only for you. Your soulmate's truth is delicate, fragile, vulnerable. If spoken to the wrong person, even with good intentions, it could set off a chain of misunderstanding. Their struggle, their fears, their emotional wounds, and the hidden truth they are carrying require protection. You are being entrusted with what their own heart could not yet reveal. Heaven does not want this to fall into gossip, judgment, or careless hands. It must remain sealed between you and the divine until the appointed moment when they speak directly to you. This is also why heaven warns you not to tell anyone. When a spiritual matter is shared in the wrong atmosphere, the enemy gains room to interfere. Some people, even unknowingly, project their own fears and doubts onto divine situations. They speak from experience, not revelation. From wounds, not wisdom. And a single suggestion from the wrong voice can confuse the heart that God is trying to make steady. Heaven is safeguarding you from that confusion. That is why this message is whispered into your spirit alone. And my child, there is yet another layer to this sacred secrecy. This message is meant to awaken something within you. Something deep, something sensitive, something that was sleeping. If you were to expose this process too soon, you might lose the very faith heaven is trying to build. Some spiritual journeys must mature in silence. Some revelations must deepen quietly. Some understanding must grow without interference, without noise, without the opinions of others. Do you see, my child? Heaven trusts you with privacy because heaven trusts you with destiny. This is your revelation, your spiritual preparation, your divine alignment. And no one else has the right or the ability to interpret what heaven is opening to you now. This message is sealed in your spirit for a reason. It is shaping you for the final truth that is about to be revealed. My beloved child, breathe deeply now. Let your spirit be still, for we have come to the edge of the revelation heaven has been preparing you for from the very beginning of this message. All the urgency, all the whispers, all the warnings have led to this moment. You are standing before the truth your soulmate has carried in silence, buried beneath fear, wrapped in confusion, and guarded by angels until the time was right. And that time, my child, is now. Your soulmate has never spoken this truth aloud, not to you, not to anyone. They have held it tightly, not because they wished to deceive you, but because their heart was not ready. Their emotions were not settled. Their spirit was not prepared. They feared that revealing this truth would change everything between you. They feared it might push you away, frighten you, overwhelm you, or cause you to question the very connection that heaven itself planted. And so they hid it. Not out of dishonesty, but out of deep vulnerability. A hidden truth is this: your soulmate feels far more for you than they have ever dared to show. Their heart has been pulled toward you in ways they do not fully understand. You have become a place of comfort to them, a place of safety, a place their spirit recognizes even when their mind tries to deny it. They have tried to push these feelings away. They have tried to silence them. They have tried to convince themselves that what they feel is too strong, too sudden, too dangerous. They feared the intensity. They feared how vulnerable you make them. They feared how exposed their soul becomes when they let themselves think of you. But the truth is undeniable. They are deeply connected to you, and it terrifies them. This fear has created their silence. It has created their hesitation. It has created the emotional distance that confused you. They have been trying to protect themselves from the depth of their own feelings. And they have been trying to protect you from the chaos they carry within. They are not detached from you. They are overwhelmed by you. My child, hear this with tenderness. They think you deserve someone stronger, someone more certain, someone who is not afraid of their own heart. They look at you and feel unworthy. They fear that if you saw their wounds, their insecurities, their past mistakes, you might turn away. They fear disappointing you. They fear failing you. They fear not being enough for the connection they sense forming between your souls. The hidden truth is not rejection. It is longing wrapped in fear. And heaven reveals this now, because your soulmate is reaching a point where they cannot continue carrying this alone. Their heart is aching for release, for honesty, for connection, but they do not know how to begin. They worry that their confession might complicate everything. They worry that speaking their truth will make them vulnerable in ways they do not know how to navigate. They worry about losing you, so they stay silent, even as their silence hurts them. But heaven will not let fear steal this connection. Heaven will not let confusion speak louder than truth. Heaven will not allow the enemy to twist what was divinely designed. That is why this revelation comes to you first. Not to give you power over them, but to prepare your heart. When they finally speak, when their courage blooms, when their heart trembles open, you will not be shocked. You will not be confused. You will not misread their vulnerability as instability. You will understand. Your soulmate's hidden truth is that they love you more deeply than they feel ready to confess. They are torn between desire and fear, between destiny and doubt. And the moment of revelation is approaching, slowly but steadily. When they do speak, their words will not be polished. They will not be perfect. They will be raw, trembling, uncertain, but sincere. And heaven wants your heart steady when that moment arrives. Their silence was never indifference. It was protection. Their distance was never rejection. It was fear. Their hesitation was never a lack of love. It was the depth of their love. And now that heaven has revealed their truth, you are prepared for what comes next. My beloved child, come close now, for we have reached the final stretch of this journey. This is the moment where heaven wraps everything together. The urgency, the warning, the truth, the divine timing, and places it gently into your spirit like a sacred seal. You have walked with me through every layer of revelation, through every whisper of heaven, through every hidden truth your soulmate has carried. And now we stand in the quiet, holy space where understanding becomes purpose. Child, hear me with the ears of the Spirit. Nothing you have heard has been by accident. Nothing has been coincidence. The message that reached you was intentional. The timing was divine. The stirring in your chest as you listened was evidence that your soul recognized the voice of truth. For when heaven speaks to the heart cannot remain still. And your heart has responded exactly as the Father desired, open, soft, ready. Your soulmate's truth has now been revealed to you. Their fear, their longing, their silence, their struggle, their love. But this revelation is not the end. It is the beginning of a new spiritual chapter. Heaven has not shown you these things to burden you, but to prepare you. Destiny is shifting. The energy between your soul and theirs is aligning. The emotional fog is clearing. And what once felt confusing will soon gain clarity, as truth steps out of the shadows and into the light. You are being called to hold this truth with grace, not with pressure, not with assumption, not with impatience, but with the quiet strength of someone who understands that love guided by heaven must be handled with gentleness. Your soulmate's heart is tender right now. Their emotions are fragile. Their courage is still awakening. And you must walk carefully, like someone holding a delicate flame in the wind, protecting it until it grows strong enough to burn on its own. Heaven has chosen you to receive this message because heaven trusts you to respond correctly. They trust you to listen more than you speak. They trust you to sense more than you demand. They trust you to remain steady when your soulmate trembles. They trust your compassion. They trust your patience. They trust your spiritual maturity. And, my child, it is because you have proven yourself trustworthy in past seasons, through struggles, disappointments, growth, and prayer, that heaven now places this revelation gently into your hands. From this moment forward, walk with awareness. You will notice subtle signs, gentle shifts, small movements in your soulmate's energy. Do not dismiss them. They may reach out indirectly. They may test the waters carefully. They may give hints they fear to say boldly. You will sense their approach not through words alone, but through the stirring of your spirit. Trust those stirrings. Trust the soft pull within your heart. Heaven will guide you. The angels will steady you. And now, my child, before we close, hear one final message from Archangel Michael, whispered into your spirit through the breath of God. Do not fear the truth that is coming. For truth reveals destiny, not destruction. Walk forward with courage, for you are protected. What is meant for your soul will rise, and no force in heaven or earth can take it from you. Let that settle into your heart. Before we seal this message, I speak a blessing over you as a father of the Spirit. May your heart be strong, your discernment sharp, your compassion deep, your steps guided. May your soulmate find the courage they have lacked. May the truth between you rise in divine timing. May every interference be cut away by heavenly fire. And may your destiny unfold in alignment with God's perfect design. Carry this message quietly. Guard it. Nurture it. Let it shape you. Let it prepare you for what heaven is about to reveal next in your journey. And my beloved child, as you hold this divine revelation, let your life reflect the light you have received. Continue to walk in this sanctuary. Continue to support the work heaven is doing here, and share this place of truth with others who hunger for understanding. Let your engagement be an offering, a way to lift this message so more hearts can awaken. Do so not as a task, but as a sacred duty, a gentle act of obedience to the God who chose you to hear what many were not ready to receive. May strength walk beside you now. May peace wrap around you. May clarity follow your steps. And may the truth that is coming bless you beyond what you can imagine. Amen.